Hey everybody, what's going on? I am Jamie Dawn, your evolutionary revolutionary astrologer, bringing you your celestial wisdom for the week of May 21st through the 30th. Wow, yeah, the 30th of 2023. And we're in for hopefully some more lighthearted stability, if you will, and some hope that we can start to play a little bit more, mostly because the sun has now ingressed into the sign of Gemini, sextiling Mars in playful Leo. And one other little piece, though, we've got Mars and Jupiter squaring off because Jupiter just entered Taurus as well. But even though we're dealing with a square, which creates a little tension, it can also bring on some friendly competition. And we can feel like that leads us to bigger opportunities to show off what we can do, and do it in a playful way. We can feel a little bit more of this changed from the beginning of the month. It should just feel a little less cray-cray, because I know beginning of the month was pretty intense, especially because we had some pretty intense eclipses, that full moon eclipse. And of course, we are going to have another moon event in the next 2 weeks, because that's just what happens. On June 3rd, we have another full moon, but we just also had a new moon in Taurus that hopefully was very friendly for many of you. We just need to be careful, especially as we start out the week with this sextile between Gemini and Mars and that Jupiter and Mars square, that we could feel a little bombastic or too forceful at being number one. And that can come off a little difficult for others, or someone else that you may be working with is, pontificating about whatever they do and showing off and being a little arrogant, that sort of thing. And that can create a tension point. But if we've been feeling a little bit lackluster, then Monday can give us that little extra boost of energy to get some things done, to really feel as though we're moving forward and able to accomplish the things that we want. Now, on Tuesday, the moon is going to be in Cancer and canoodling or conjunct with Venus in Cancer. And then there's this lovely sextile of Uranus in Taurus. So this is a wonderful feminine kind of energy. Our intuition can be at an all-time high, especially when we're working with others in relationships. What we value may even get a little injection of inspiration or creativity, and that can give us a little bit more security. And our focus, of course, may be on relationships or finances at this time with Venus involved, but we can also become a little bit more aware of our desires and the things that help us feel really good, and being able to communicate that and reciprocate that. We can find a reflective quality that can show up here, where others go out of their way to help us feel loved and cared for. And we may decide to innovate the way that we deal with our finances. If you've had some issues with it, or you're looking for ways to grow it or to be more generous with it, you can come up with some innovative ways during this time that can help us. And also within relationship, it can give us greater vision for a more secure future, because that's what we're looking for. We want that emotional security, especially with the moon in Cancer. Now, the moon and Mars will canoodle, so it will ingress out of the sign of Cancer, the moon will, into the sign of Leo, and it will make a short little wrap around, if you will, with Mars. And then there's a small moment where the moon will square off with Jupiter, and Venus will also be squaring off with Chiron on Wednesday. So these are moments where the tension can cause us to feel like we need to push our agenda onto a situation. Maybe some old wounds could get scratched here if we're not careful. We just want to pay attention to how we're nurturing ourselves, but also we could find great pride in the way that we handle intense situations this day. And being really grounded is important. Being able to communicate well. Once we move through that tension point, then we can find solutions that work for us and that can work for others and be beneficial for everybody involved. And we may be looking for ways to lead in some sort of area of our life. So maybe we're thrust into the spotlight, or there's a project or something that you're working towards that you need to take the lead on. And that can give a real nice sense of meaning and impact, positive impact. And we might feel a little more assertive this day. So if you have held back and you need to push something forward, having those discussions with your boss about a raise, or having the discussion with the loved one about how things need to change a little bit or how they need to show up in the relationship. These are just some examples. Now, on Thursday, we have the sun and moon will also be in a beautiful sextile pattern here. So the sun in Gemini, the moon will be in Leo, having this wonderful sextile pattern for the last 24 hours, and Venus will sextile Uranus. And so Wednesday, Thursday could be a day when we get some things done with, we're collaborating with others. We want to get some things done. We may find others coming out to play. You know, it's this lighthearted, playful kind of energy going on, opportunities to really be inspirational in our vision that we're wanting to accomplish. So share your ideas and remember where you put your energy and your time and resources, right? But this is an opportunity to put some more leadership skills into practice. And, you know, leadership takes on many different forms, and good communication, being really grounded, that emotional regulation, not creating a story that isn't true. Also not projecting onto others things that you may be working through. So these are things to be aware of, and that if you are dealing with something intense during this week, it's really important to identify it, to check in with yourself, do some self-regulation, self-soothing, and, you know, have that support system. You know, it's really good to have those peers and those professionals that can support you if you are working through something, especially as we move into Friday when Mars squares off with the North Node in Taurus, because this is maybe a moment when we're working really hard towards a destined purpose, towards something that's important for us. And our focus and determination could be on creating more stability in some particular area of our lives. We just got to be careful that we're not too forceful about it, and that our agenda isn't taking over. We want to remember Mars in Leo needs to lead with its heart, the heart's desire. So we may be forced to let go of past hurts so that we can move forward into greater strength and manifestation of our desires on Friday, really letting go of the fears, the worries, the hurt, because Mars is making that square to the North Node in Taurus, and our South Node is still in Scorpio. It will change signs in another month. But for now, we're still working on those last bits of residue of pain and suffering that we may have gone through in the past. So be gentle with yourself, be gentle with others. A lot of space and grace goes a long way. Saturday, the moon is in the sign of Virgo, and it will make a trine to Jupiter and Taurus for a little bit, and then oppose Saturn and Pisces. So this can be a beautiful day and weekend where healing can take place through acts of service. It's the little things that matter. And it might be a little word of encouragement, or that little smile, or just being present with somebody. So we're encouraged to pay attention and celebrate all those little things, to slow down, take our time, watch how the mind might try and overanalyze everything, create a story that doesn't exist. And this is one of the things that we have to always be mindful of, because we can take anything and spin it into some grandiose idea, right? This is a great weekend for imagining a bit bigger, better, brighter future and creating ways to implement that. So this could have us feeling really hopeful that the next phases of our lives we're ready to take on. I mean, you think about all that we've been through over the last just months, even, but a couple of years, and here we are emerging again. There's this, I won't say new normal, because I'm just not really keen on that whole idea, but because what is normal? Somebody said, you know, you're not normal. I'm like, who is? Okay, but anyways, what I will say is this is a time where we should take a marked moment to celebrate all that we have been through. Things are getting a little bit lighter, so that's good. Remember, life is going to ebb and flow, so appreciate the lightness and, you know, go with it, make the most of it, because there's going to be another heavy day that's going to show up, or there's going to be another moment that shows up. I can tell you right now, I've had 3 accidents in the last 2 months, and there are different types of accidents. They say things happen in 3, so I'm like, okay, I'm done, this is it. But boy, it was getting a little expensive there. So anyways, and one other pin on the map, I wanted to say that I will be serving in my role as staff director for the nonprofit for Nine Gates Mystery School that I belong to, from May 23rd to June 5th. So if I'm not able to get a video out, that would be why. I am going to work really hard on carving out some space and time to do it, even if it's just a short injection of what is going on. And another little pin on the map for those of you who may be tracking, I will be having knee surgery. I have a ruptured ACL. Yes, that was the doings of me, not paying attention, being more mindful when I was skiing. So anyways, at least I was doing something I loved. And so I have surgery scheduled for June 9th, and I may be out of commission for a couple of days there. But if you can hold the space with me, if you can just hold me in your thoughts and prayers, however you choose to do that, I would so appreciate it. And thanks so much for liking, subscribing, commenting, sharing these videos. If they're helpful, I love your feedback. Please keep bringing it. If I say something that is not clear and you need clarification, ask. I'm happy to help. Also, keep in mind that I do have the podcast with my daughter, Tatiana Maisel, and we're having a lot of fun with it. It's here on this YouTube channel and looking at some other avenues that we're going to put it out onto. So anyway, stay tuned, everybody, for that. And I hope that you have such a fabulous week. Thanks. Take care.